What's up, y'all? It's Day and Bree coming to you with a video. Something that's fresh on our minds is this conversation about artificial infidelity. In other words, the creation of these sexual robots. I was listening to The Breakfast Club today, and I overheard a conversation that Charlemagne the God and Angela Yee were having about these sexual robots. And Charlemagne was basically breaking down the idea of, you know, it not being a good thing for anybody involved. My take on it is that I have dealt in the past. I've dealt with past relationships where people have been addicted to porn. We're getting intimate and porn is on. And I see the same thing that could potentially happen with this robot. And, you know, Angela Yee brought up the idea of, what if you're being intimate with this robot more than you're intimate with the person that you're in a relationship with? And Charlemagne was just saying, that's wrong. That's where you're getting out of line. That's where you're getting out of pocket because, if I'm getting used to having sex with a robot, by the way, let me just say that this robot has, what is it called? The way that it responds to men is in a submissive sort of way. So they have sort of programmed responses such as, whatever you say, anything I can do for you, things like that, just being totally submissive. And I can't sit up here and say that women are not, in today's world, 2017, about to be 2018, that women are not submissive and that they're not willing to be submissive. But a robot that is programmed to be submissive is in that state of mind 100% of the time. Women are not in a submissive state of mind 100% of the time. This is going to create a large gap for people as far as human interaction.
I feel like it's disrespectful towards women. Like this how whoever made the robot, that's how they feel like women should always be.
Exactly.
You know
Like
what I
we should
mean?
always be in a submissive headspace. And I beg to differ with that because that's saying that the man, if you're going to put women into these prehistoric, before history, if you're going to put them in these prehistoric characterizations and say that they should be submissive 100% of the time, then men should be providers 100% of the time. And that is simply not attainable in today's society because the lack of respect for women versus men and men versus women. There's just a large disconnect. So we cannot push each other, men and women, we cannot push each other back into these prehistorical times where men were 100% providers and women were nurturing and submissive and things like that. Even during those times where women were so-called submissive, I can't necessarily say that they were submissive 100% of the time. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Hit me up on some new information, but I don't recall women ever being 100% submissive all the time. Not all women. The reason why the feminist movement came about is because women were not submissive 100% of the time. And if they were submissive, if they wanted to be submissive, they could. But if they don't want to be, that's where the feminist movement started. Anyway, I digress from the feminist movement. Going back to the sexual
I
robots.
just feel like it's kind of scary because it's a lot of people that don't know how to communicate already,
Most definitely.
and of course we got the phones, we got the computers, people talk behind the screen.
Yes.
But when you actually get face to face with some people, they really don't know how to interact with
No, they
you.
do not.
And plus, with this little sexual robot, that's just gonna make things like really awkward.
Yes, and it's sort of like, is this a misogynistic sort of thing? Like, we're creating robots, sexual robots that are capable. We're creating robots that are specifically capable of having sexual intercourse with human beings. Is that the sole purpose? And if so, why? Because it's taking away from the human experience. Why would you want to take away from the human experience? I definitely understand certain people wanting to be pragmatic and them wanting to maybe decrease the STD rate, maybe, or, you know, give people an alternative if they don't want to deal with, maybe getting pregnant or things of that nature. But again, it all takes away from the human experience. And if I can say so myself, that is why we are all here, to have a human experience, not to have an artificial experience. I mean, right or wrong.
That's true. I just feel like, I mean, if you that smart to create a sexual robot,
Create
why?
a cure for these STDs.
Exactly.
You know,
Why we be thinking the same thing? I was about to say that.
but yeah, so we're totally against the sexual robots.
I
If
mean, I'll just say whatever floats your boat, but that ain't keeping my boat afloat.
the reason why, and I'll say this, the reason why that I can say that I'm totally against the sexual robot is because it takes away from the human experience. That is why we're all created, to have an experience. We're humans having a human experience. And if you start creating a bunch of robots that can basically, I mean, we already have robots in the warehouses creating, all of the products that we sell. I
Taking
mean, that we
away
buy.
people's jobs
Taking
and
away people's
whatnot.
jobs. Now we're taking away relationships because we're introducing these sexual robots. We have introduced social media, so no one really takes having a physical real friend serious anymore, because we're all on social media watching each other and judging each other. And again, technology has taken us so far. It has created so many different things that we benefit from.
This is a blessing and a curse.
On the other hand, it has created a world where we have to question, is this a truly authentic human experience, or is it being dictated by a computer, by a robot? You know, I digress. So, that's our take on that topic, the sexual robots. Let us know what you think. We're laying down, we're chilling. It was hot on our minds, so we wanted to share it with you guys and get your take on it. If you have any comments about it, let us know. Leave a comment. Again, like, comment,
Subscribe.
and share. And just let us know what your thoughts. Let us know your commentary. Peace.